What's poppin', everybody? Episode 49 of the Slip Away podcast coming right at you. A lot to get into this week, man. There was a lot of good fights this weekend. Just want to start with talking about on Friday, Artur Beterbiev getting a ninth round knockout of Marcus Brown. I think this is just like a further demonstration of Beterbiev's dominance at light heavyweight. I think at this point it's pretty obvious that he's the best light heavyweight in the world. Marcus Brown's a real good boxer, good fast hands, nice jab. He's got a lot of good skills. You know what I mean? There's not a whole lot that Marcus Brown does wrong. And for the first couple of rounds, he was able to put, that jab on him and keep him moving for a little bit. But with Beterbiev, the fight doesn't really start until he lands a body shot. Because once he lands a body shot, it always puts these guys in place, man. Everyone's bouncing and on the move for a little bit, but, his power and his precision and his patience, it's a tough combination to beat. That's a hard dude. And on top of that, I don't know how you get him out of there. We've seen him dropped a little bit, but he's just a hard dude, man. He's got good defense too on the way in, and I felt like eventually he just put Marcus Brown in a stationary position. Then it was a matter of, Brown trying to catch and shoot off the ropes. And that's just not, you can't beat Beterbiev fighting that fight. So, it's an excellent win for Beterbiev. He's definitely like a boogeyman in boxing. You don't see a lot of people calling him out, including Canelo. And I hope that's ultimately, I think, like the best. If you want to talk about pure boxing, that's like one of the best fights in boxing is Beterbiev and Canelo. Because his size advantages and his power and what he brings to the table is such an interesting matchup against Canelo. And at light heavyweight, I think him and Canelo is 50-50. Outside of that, I don't think anybody beats this guy. Anybody at light heavyweight. On Saturday, early Saturday, Joseph Parker getting a unanimous decision in a rematch against Dereck Chisora. I think he dropped him 3-4 times, and every time he just couldn't finish him off, man. Like, Chisora would walk to the corner and kind of take this crouch where, Parker would try to make something happen, and Chisora would just start swinging at him. I think it's a testament to Chisora's heart. But I also think that, the fact that Parker couldn't finish that fight, I would have liked to have seen him finish it. I'm sure he wanted to finish it, too. I just don't think he was going after Chisora aggressively enough when he was hurting him because he was worried about the power that was coming back to him. So the cards were all close and shit. I don't really think Chisora won a single round. I mean, I would have been cool with like 120, 105 across the board. I don't know how the knockdowns would have made the difference in that fight for you. I don't know what the fuck they were watching. So, it's a good win for Parker. He's still a guy that's right in the mix. He's kind of in that same tier with Dillian White, even though they fought. He's in that same tier where he's just below like the big three, and he's kind of knocking on the door. I don't know if this win does anything for him other than, he kind of shores up that, like, yeah, I'm better than Chisora. I can handle that pressure. I can handle that intensity. And it keeps him in the mix for a big fight because Chisora is a fucking handful for anybody. Then later on in the evening, on Saturday, Gilberto Ramirez knocking out uniesky Gonzalez in the 10th round. TKO, not a knockout. This was also a fight. I thought this was going to be a quickie. Gonzalez was a tough guy 4 or 5 years ago, but he hasn't been real active. And in the last year or so that he's come back, the opposition he's fought has been a little bit limited. So I just, I didn't know what he was going to be bringing to the table, honestly. But he brought a lot. And, early in the first couple of rounds, he was really bringing it to Ramirez and really hitting him. I think it caught him off guard that, this guy was coming out so aggressive, and I think the power threw him off. Gonzalez clearly a hard hitter. And I think sometimes Ramirez's defense is not so great. He has the skills to do everything well. Like, you see him slip shots, you see him catch shit on the shoulders and up top, and you see him do all that. but there's defensive lapses, and Gonzalez early in the fight was able to capitalize on some of that and really hurt him and get his respect. And then as the fight wore on, Ramirez started boxing better on the outside behind the jab. When he would get inside, the defense was a little tighter, and he's a beautiful combination puncher, man. I mean, offensively, his creativity is, top notch. And so he was kind of just able to out-talent Gonzalez down the stretch, and eventually it started getting ugly as far as it being a beating. But every time, it would look like he was about to finish Gonzalez would answer with something, massive and just, sweat blast him. So it was hard to say, we have to stop this fight because, Ramirez was taking so much punishment as well. Even if the fight was very one-sided, they were both taking a lot of punishment. So I think the stoppage when it happened was a good stoppage. I'd like to see Ramirez in with some better competition, because I feel like look, Gonzalez is a tough guy and he put up a great fight, but I think part of this is like he's so used to being the A side, that when somebody really brings it to him, he looks caught off, he looks almost shocked or caught off guard. And if he's gonna fight, he keeps calling out Dmitry Bivol. If he's gonna be surprised that somebody really puts hands on him, I don't think Bivol is the guy. And I also think that Bivol is going to be a guy that makes Ramirez come to him. I think he's going to be able to counter him very effectively. I just don't see how Ramirez can beat Bivol. I definitely don't I think Beterbiev makes quick work of him. But that says less about Ramirez and more about those two guys. I think if Ramirez could tighten up his defense and get some fights with some other top-level guys, get a fight with Badu Jack, get a fight with Marcus Brown, fight some of these other top guys so that we can really gauge where you're at. Because I can't tell if Gonzalez just, fought the fight of his life, or if, at a certain level, Ramirez is very vulnerable. It's hard to tell from this fight. We have to see him in against top 15 guys to really know that. So my guest this week is junior middleweight contender Aaron Coley from Oakland, California. Got put onto him by my buddy Otis Griffin, who you've seen on the show multiple times. Had a great conversation with him. He's got a fight coming up January 22nd against Hugo Centeno. So I'll be looking forward to that. And I really enjoyed talking to him, man. He's a really interesting guy. He went through a long period of his career without a trainer and has managed to really make something of himself. So just a lot of admirable qualities about this guy, and I hope you enjoy our conversation. Well, listen, man, I got, kind of a different style. I know like the typical sports interview is like real interviewee style. That's not really my style, man. I'm hoping we could just chop it up for a little bit. Maybe I could learn some shit from you. Whoever's watching can learn a little something. And I appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, me too. I appreciate your time, man.
Well, listen, bro, it's funny. I was watching a bunch of your fights this weekend, and what I noticed very first, and I wanted to just talk to you about this, you got an extremely patient style, man. You're so calm in the ring. Like every movement you make is so relaxed. There's nothing excessive. But I couldn't like pinpoint somebody similar. So who were some of your like fighting influences coming up?
I watch a lot of Purnell, James Toney,
yeah,
Holyfield, who I grew up on. You know what I'm saying? They're my favorite fighters.
Yeah, you from that same era as me.
I mean, I just don't like just overdoing it. Like a lot of times when I try too hard, I over. So I just try to be relaxed as I can.
Yeah, and how many times do you see somebody that like has skills, but they got too much twitchy shit going on or nervous energy, and it
Yeah,
drains them. Like with the way you fight, it must take forever for you to get tired because unless you're punching, there's not like any nervous shit going on. You get to watch any of the fights this weekend?
yeah, I did.
Which ones you watch?
I ended up watching the what's that dude that's out of Minnesota? I watched a little of him on PBC, and I caught that Jake Paul. I watched it for entertainment.
Did you?
Yeah, I checked it out. He got a knockout. It's hard to get a knockout out there.
Yeah,
So you know what I'm saying? You gotta give him his peas.
it's true, bro. I mean, not everyone can sleep someone like that, regardless of like the competition you fighting.
Yeah.
Did you get to watch any like the Zerto Ramirez on the zone?
No, I didn't get to see. I was switching back and forth to see it. I'll probably watch it tonight.
Yeah, that
Because
was a good one, man.
Gonzalez he was pretty solid a few years ago. I don't know how he's looking now. But that dude he was a solid dude like 3-4 years ago.
That was a way better fight than I thought it was gonna be, man. Like, because I thought Ramirez would make it quick, but Gonzalez he's hard, man. He's a hard dude. It takes
Yeah,
everything to get that dude out of there.
yeah, he real rangy too. And like his style a little awkward.
100%. How you been maintaining during the pandemic? I know it's been a long year for basically every fighter. It's been tough to get fights going and shit. How's it been for you as far as training and whatnot?
Oh man, as far as getting fights, man, it's been hard for me. Like it's been down to me really taking fights on week notice and still not getting them. But you know what I'm saying? I just stay training, stay in the gym. You know what I mean? I know like one day that my opportunity gonna come. Like eventually I got one.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was chopping it up with Otis for a bit too, and he was telling me that you got a fight coming up against Hugo Centeno, man. Talk to me about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, I hooked up with Otis. He had actually seen me help one of my other buddies, Michael Guy. I helped him get ready for his last fight at so then he had hit me back a little later. He said, Aaron, man, I got a question for you. Why you quit fighting? And I said, what? I said, man, I ain't quit it. I mean, it's just hard for me to get opportunities. He said, well, man, you know what? I think I got something for you. I think I can get with you. And we connected, and man, it's in no time. I mean, it was less than a week. He had this call for me saying, hey, how you looking? How you feeling? I said, you know what I'm saying? And I'm great. I'm great as always. I'm always in shape. I train year round. And here we are. Contract signed.
That's a beautiful thing, man. You got a date?
Yeah. January 22nd. January
Oh shit,
22nd next year. So
that's
right
quick.
after that's gonna be kicking my year off, man.
Hell yeah, that's a good way to start the year right there.
Yeah, real talk. Because it's been a
Oh,
long, like this year been a long, man. And like I've been off it. Like I tripped, I looked at the thing. I've been off about a year and a half. So I was like, man, that kind of struck me. It don't feel like that because like I say,
right.
I stay real active. So like I'm always getting working. So I'm like, man, that's crazy. I just couldn't believe it. So now, man, I'm excited.
Yeah, bro, you should be, man. And I know that it's like, the majority of fighters in this last year and a half or whatever, it's been hard to get fights. It's just been hard to get fights, especially at the beginning when there was no fights at all.
Yeah.
It's fucking rough, man.
Yeah, my last fight was right up in that pandemic too. So it was kind of like, you know what I mean? It was something different.
Did you have to do one of those bubble fights?
It was like in the country, so I didn't have to fight in the bubble. You know how in the country they ain't worried about it. You know what I'm saying? We was all in Mississippi.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
so I was gonna ask you, so you signed with MG Ring, right?
Yep. MG Ring promotion.
You got a fight coming literally in a month,
You know.
and so that's a quick turnaround from I haven't fought in a year and a half to you're in demand. Like
Yeah.
in your mind, what do you see going? What do you see happening for you this year?
Man, it's gonna take off. That's what I look at, man. I've been putting that prayer up and really just saying, man, get me busy, like in my craft, like in what I love. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been doing this for so long. I've been in so many camps, just training with so many people, and it's like, man, when they gonna get me off the bench, man? You know what I'm saying? I finally feel like I'm coming off the bench now, so I'm just happy, man. I'm ready to eat.
I bet you are, bro. Speak on that for a minute. Talk to me a little bit about some of the guys that you gotten to work with in the past.
Oh man, I didn't work with. There's so many. Andre Ward, Demetrius Andrade, Willie Nelson, Edwin Rodriguez, De La Bamba, Sean Porter, Miguel Cotto, Amir Khan, Andre Berto. Man, I'm still probably missing some people. Ron Gavilan at the 68er. There's been numerous. Peter Quillen. There's miles up. I'm probably forgetting some people.
So how did you find your way into those camps?
Just word of mouth, and just always when they let me in the gym, you know what I'm saying, I sit next to the trainers and I just kind of like, you know what I'm saying, try to learn. And by me doing that, they always remember me and they say, hey man, would you go work with this dude? Or hey, I can line you up with a camp. You know what I'm saying? So it's just always phone calls, always kind of just put myself out there. I see somebody fighting somebody left-handed. Hey, what's happening? I'll get that work with you. Let me get some of that. You know what I'm saying? Because just eventually I know, like, I need that high caliber work.
Right. Who was in all of the rounds that you did? What was like the greatest gem somebody dropped on you real quick?
Man, I can't even. It's so much. Like I remember just me being from the Bay and me being in the games like not that long. And Verge was like, man, I get fighters, and he was like, it take me a whole year to develop them with their footwork and everything else. And I was like, man. And he was like, Aaron, work on your footwork. And now that my footwork has gotten better, I feel a lot smoother and calmer in the ring. Like that footwork is a must.
Yeah. It sets everything up, man.
Yeah, do. And when you really learn the footwork and really get it down, you will see how many other much people don't got it. That's when you start with other greats start seeing. You be like, man, no, he ain't got it. Or you know what I'm saying? It's something where you see that flaw in somebody's game.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that your fight against Quarles. I felt like that was how you won, was your feet. Like every moment in that fight, you were in position to plant and let your hands go, and he basically never was, and it was because you were getting your feet in the right spots.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
And I just put off, like, I was in his hometown. I say, man, I ain't gonna let him touch nothing. So I seen the way 40 kind of come in and want to be close to you. I say, you know what? I ain't even gonna let him touch nothing. Like I could have easily just went in and fought. You know what I'm saying? But when you going to other people's hometown, you really gotta, you know what I'm saying, put on.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta give them more than you would have to in a normal fight, because everything's being. I was talking about this with Mike last week about how when you go into somebody's hometown and everything is literally padded in the other direction, where it's just like people barely greet you when you walk in the fucking door. So you gotta, you know what I mean?
But when I do that though, I just take it as I'm a use less energy as I can. Like, you know what I'm saying? And just hit and not be hit. And now I ain't gonna come in trying to knock you out. That's gonna open me up. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? That's just when I'm always in somebody's backyard, hey man, I'm gonna chill on you. Cause I know you gonna make the mistakes. Everybody's screaming for you.
Right. They got the excitement. They're the ones with the pressure, really.
Yeah.
Right. One of the things I noticed in that doc about you, man, and I kind of related to it personally pretty heavily was the not having a trainer thing.
Yeah.
Bro, that's crazy to me. How long did that go on, and how long was that happening like while you're in camps with guys like Cotto and Sean Porter and
You
Andre Ward and shit?
It was kind of crazy because it was in a transition where my coach had moved to Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And we was just like, well, I get with him in camp, but I really wasn't training with him. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then like I was going to Verges, but that at that time, I'm at Andre Ward gym. They was so deep at that time. Everybody was in there. I,
Right.
I mean, Andre was in there. Andre Berto, Amir Khan, Fun Farah. I mean, he had about 10 people. And like when you in a gym like that, like you kind of like you just like to fly on the wall. You gotta pay attention and just, you know what I'm saying, get what you can.
Right.
So like doing that, like that's how I stayed on point. I just always just when I went to somewhere, I just made sure I was aware, man, what's going on? What is they doing? What is they teaching? Because that's how I kept my tutelage going up.
Right. So for you, it was really just like until somebody's focusing on me specifically, I'm gonna just absorb as much as I can. So that when
Exactly.
somebody does that, take that time, they see that I'm fucking paying attention.
Yeah, real talk. That's exactly what it was.
So
I
at
said
what
that's gonna come. Somebody in like that's how I met the trainer I got now.
I don't think people realize how often that happens. Like I've been in and out of boxing gyms since I was 12, 13, and there's so many guys that are good that just for whatever reason, there's just they're not getting the focus. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So and it's sometimes it's not about who's the most talented. Like
yeah,
you could be coming in as the sparring partner, right? And then if you put it on that guy, it's not about how good you are. Then it's about we got to teach this guy. We got to get this guy ready.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're not really looking. So you got to fucking make them look. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. But like I had to start understanding like what's last come first. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So eventually, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be first. I already know I'm last. I'm last right now.
Right.
But you know, eventually, you know what I'm saying? If you really in tune, you know you gonna come first because you just gotta keep on believing.
So what's the point in your career where you start working with Lightning Lopez, or at what point do you start working with like a guy specifically that's focusing on you?
Well, I went to his gym and I sparred with one of his fighters, and he was like, "We're who training?" I was like, "I just we sat down." And I was like, "Man, I don't know. I be out. I get my work. I go to different gyms. You know what I'm saying? I just do my own thing right now." He was like, "Man," he was like, "You know what? Give me 2 weeks and just, you know what I'm saying? Just roll with me. If you like it, you know what I'm saying? If you don't, man, we ain't, you know what I'm saying? We can just chop it. You can come here and work." And then I worked with him and I was like, man, that's cool. Like he was really, you know what I'm saying, holding it down. So I ain't had nothing to complain about. So I went right on with him.
And
We
this
still
is
to
and this
this
is
day.
after you've been sparring with all these guys.
Yeah. No, like in between, he went with me to the Miguel Cotto camp. And you know what I'm saying? But like far as was it another camp he went to? I can't think of right off top, but yeah, he went with me to that Miguel Cotto camp, and like we just been working ever since. But like before that, I was all in camp. You know what I'm saying, to the neck. When I was in Peter Quillen camp, though, I had my coach with me. I had Coach Ben with me at that time. So yeah, but yeah, we before that it was all me. I was just in camp. I was Trout too, Austin Trout. Now that we talking, I was in camp with him when he fought Laura.
Wow. That's crazy. What was it like sparring with Cotto, man? Like I grew up in New York, man. So fucking
Yeah,
Cotto that was the mayor.
yeah.
You know what I
He
mean?
worked. He was some good work. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was getting ready to fight Kirkland. And I was kind of, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't being my regular slick self. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was kind of coming to him a little more than regular. But like I thought he was too small for 160 when I said, man, he too little. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But he really like you when you know like he made me learn on how to set up my favorite punch because like he was slinging that left hook like it was nobody business. I'm like, oh okay. I'm
Yeah.
like he doing everything to set that up. Like that's how he get to his points. I said, and
Right.
I took that from that camp.
Yeah, I remember I was there. I met Alfonso Gomez a couple of times, and he was talking about when he fought Cotto, and he was like, it wasn't even that he hit that hard, but he was just so accurate that anytime he
Yeah.
would catch you, it was in a spot that was going to make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, like one time I was trying to like I was really like that day. I'm like, man, I'm gonna just press him on some James Kirkland because that's who he was fighting. I'm like, I'm gonna just press him. And like usually I'd be like, and I found myself a little tired a little bit. I said, hold on, let me lay off this dude and kind of, you know what I'm saying? Because he had me in there, he had me on the line for a minute. He caught a little rhythm on me. I'm like, oh, okay. I had to back up off of him and really get back to boxing and doing how I do and it. You know what I'm saying? But he most definitely got work.
Yeah, that's crazy,
He
bro.
just got booked in the Hall of Fame, didn't he?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so.
Well earned.
Mm-hmm.
Well earned. That was that was the first fight I ever went to was him and Paulie. That was the first fight I ever went to in my life. And I remember it was at the Garden, and bro, it was nuts. And there was
that was crazy.
It was mad Puerto Ricans, mad Italians, mad fights, mad fights. Like there'd be boxing going on in the middle, and then every once in a while you see everybody's head like, huh? And look up, you see somebody fighting up there and shit.
Yeah.
It was one of the coolest fucking events I ever been to. So many bright colored suits.
Yeah.
And that shit was out of a movie, bro. That shit was out of a movie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. That's a crazy experience to be able to get in there with, you know, the best of your era and the best of the era before. Like, do you feel like that helps you when you get into the fight? Like, I already seen all of this.
Yeah. I know it was one time I won't forget Dre had put me on his undercard. I think when he fought Sullivan Barrera. And I had a pretty tough fight. I had a good fight that night. It was a tough one though. I was fighting some Russian cat. But Nip performed everything and just watching Dre in that fight and being there, it was like
yeah.
It was like, man, it was live and it was like he had it live in the town.
Yeah.
It was lit.
You said Nipsey performed?
And Nipsey performed that day. That's when he just did
Wow.
it with Jay-Z. It was crazy, man.
Wow, bro.
The Oracle was lit.
Yeah, that's special.
Was in the, man, look, man, it was lit. Beast Mode in there.
Yeah.
Marshawn, everybody, man, it was lit.
That's cool as fuck. That's cool as fuck. I love the boxing scene in California. Anytime I've been out there, it's got a great boxing, like supportive boxing.
Yeah.
People show up for each other.
Man, it's enough of us from Oakland right now too to bring that back, especially with you got Lil Haney out there at the top from the town. You know what I'm saying? Then you got David Lopez just signed to Floyd. Then you got Amari, he with Haney. You know what I'm saying? So it's enough cats from Oakland right now to really put it back on the map and really get out here.
Yeah, definitely. It's funny too because most of the guys that I've had on here, the couple of guests I've had is all California guys because you all know each other.
Yeah,
and like everybody just knows each other.
Yeah, because it's so small, man. Especially in the northern, like in Oakland. It's small. Even like you can kind of connect Sacramento with us, but it's a small circuit, man. We don't get that look that way this way.
Right. So how is Virgil really like the mayor as far as trainers?
This way, I don't see nobody else doing it like him or on a higher level. Like, you know what I'm saying? Of course, there's other trainers out there that got some that got tutelage and got gang, but at the end of the day, Verge is at the highest level. You know what I'm saying? There's people from all over the world come down and trying to seek that game. You know what I mean? So, but just by that, he got to be.
Right. So are you gonna fight Centennial at junior middle or middle?
At middle.
So
And the crazy thing is, this is where the opportunity at for me. Like I make 54 easy still. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, I got to get to work where the work is at. You know what I mean? Because I mean, a lot of guys don't take me at 54 neither.
Right.
I always get turned down at 54.
Have you had like opportunities at 54 that you thought were going to happen that just didn't pan out?
Yeah, they just really, I get the call, never call back. It just be like, Aaron, what? They just question me. They say, Aaron, would you fight this dude? But they ain't got no contract out. You know what I'm saying? And when I say yeah, in that amount of time, they be like, well, no, they didn't take that. Or that middleman be like, dude, they don't want no real fight or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, you look at my resume, you gonna get some work up out. You know what I'm saying? I've been 10, I've been 12.
Especially if they can get somebody bigger name, less skill.
Yeah, I ain't never been stopped, never even been knocked down in my whole career. So,
right. So they know what they're getting.
Yeah, they know you gonna have to get some wreck.
Right. I was gonna ask you too about your last fight. I think it was your last fight, right? Against Vladimir Hernandez.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That guy went on to beat fucking J-Rock.
Yeah.
You saw that. But...
I mean, he throw 100 punches around, which I didn't have a bunch of problems up out of him. Like he just throw 100 punches around. Like if that fight was actually shown, I ain't have nothing on my face and nothing.
Right.
Like, but he just throws so many punches, he'll give anybody a hard fight. If you don't knock him out, he gonna give you a hard fight because he most definitely gonna throw that 100 piece every round. You know what I'm saying? Early, like especially after he kind of come in filling you out. Once he fill you out, he gonna throw that 100 piece.
I wish I had been able to watch your fight with him, but I remember the fight with J-Rock thinking like J-Rock looks more tired than I thought he was gonna. Like the pace is actually getting to him. It's not like because he throws kind of ugly, but he knows what he's doing, kind of. You know what I mean? So, but I noticed I was like, J-Rock's starting to look a little more tired than he was gonna. You know what I mean?
That dude consistently work. Like I'm getting guts, everything. I'm going downstairs. He working though.
Right.
He growled and worked one time. I said, "Oh, he in here working." You feel me? He made me push a little harder, but I can't. But another thing, I came in light. He came in about 6-7 pounds over that time too. So that was another thing. Like he probably was just getting in shape, but his weight wasn't down yet. Cause I came in at like 56, and he came in at 65, 66
for a middleweight fight.
For a middleweight fight, and the fight was at 160. So which I was trying to come down. Like I damn near can make 47 for real if I I be eating my ways up through camp. Like I just don't. I ain't got to starve or nothing.
Right.
So like, you know what I mean? That was another difference. He probably came in about 180. I was still 160 when I fought. When I finished the fight and I got on the scale after the fight, I was 156. I said, damn. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, I lost it. You feel me?
Anything you rehydrated, you lost in the ring.
Yeah. We went 10.
Right. Did you feel like you won?
Yeah, because I mean, he wasn't hitting me clean. He wasn't hitting me with nothing. I mean, I was loading up. You know what I'm saying? But he was just throwing a lot of pity pat punches, like which I just was like, man, you feel me? I'm using shoulders and rolling. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm getting my clean. When I was hitting him, I'm snapping head back, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that was consistently on through the fight, but in the end, it was punch count. Because I lost the split. I ain't lose understand it wasn't unanimous.
I always think that's like a lazy judging style where it's just like you're just gonna give the round to whoever throws more punches. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many other parts of the sport. You know, obviously if somebody can be that active, it's impressive. But
Yeah,
if it's not working, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But I feel like there are a lot of judges that will kind of just like, he was busier. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
They
But
ain't looking at the crowd because I was dipping, slipping, I was rolling, I was doing all kind of things. And then like he picked it up in the round 7. But then I came back pushing in them last rounds. I say,
right,
man, like you got to get these. And I came out fighting hard.
right. I mean, shit, bro. Like it's I was gonna ask you more about 154 because that's where I had watched you on TV. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, who are you looking at? Like what's your dream fight right now?
Man, this the championship fights. I'll fight the Charlo, the dude that just fought the Charlo. You know what I'm saying? All this is about the supremacy, man. At the end of the day, I ain't trying to cherry pick or go through nobody. You like, I know you got to fight certain people to get there, but man, everything is set on the championship. Like, you know what I'm saying? Who got the belts at the end of the day?
Yep.
Like it ain't nothing for me. It ain't nothing personal with nobody. I don't watch no. I see certain people and be like, man, I'll be in school, cuz. But it don't even matter to me if he ain't got the chip, though. You know what I'm saying? It's all about championships. Like, don't nobody want to just be like, yeah, that was a hard, good fight, but ain't got no, you know what I'm saying, accolades on it.
Right. So, in your mind, if you could get to Jamal Charlo, Golovkin, Andrade, any of those guys, that's the goal.
I fight him just cause, hey, bro, it's about my legacy. They doing theirs, they handling theirs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I got to get to where I got to get mine and say, hey, man, yeah, let me get my spot. Let me open up my elbows.
Right. If the opportunity came up at 154 or 147 and it was the right opportunity, would you do it?
Yeah, I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna make the weight. I got to.
Right.
It ain't no choice. If God put something before me, I got. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just for like. It ain't out of nowhere, man. You gotta understand. Like I be praying for this stuff, man. Like I don't just be putting in the work. I be praying for this, man, because I want it. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I've been on the bench for so long. I've been fighting. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get off that bench, man. Start me. I want to be the starter. You know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Who ain't trying to be the starter?
Yeah. I feel that, bro. That makes you that much more valuable in a sense because you're like, yeah, I'll fucking make the weight. Yeah, I'll put on the weight. Like whatever. You'll go where the fight is.
Like James Tony said it a while back, man. I fight what your granddaddy weight, your mama weight, wherever weight you want to get it at, man. Like that's just how I feel. Like if I gotta get a little lower, or I gotta get a little put on a little pounds, you know what I'm saying? All right, let me put that few on.
What do you think is your best weight?
54, because I'm sitting right there I'm sitting right there. I walk around about 65, 62. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got much to lose.
Right. Yeah, that's a
Make it.
small weight cut.
Yeah. I
There's,
ain't got to.
there's welterweights that walk around at 180.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
seen some of them. I said, damn, dude. I ain't seen them before, and I finally seen them. I say, man, they kind of bigger than me. I
Really?
can't tell. I don't even wear no. So I'm gonna have to start wearing my sweat bag a little more. I don't even wear a sweat bag. I'll be down quick.
Yeah, that's funny, bro. What do you think about Jamel Charlo and Castano? I know they signed a rematch recently.
Like, man, I don't know. It seemed like something was up. Either dude hitting hard, or I don't know, something was going on. Cause I would figure Charlo would, you know what I'm saying, step to him a little bit after, you know what I'm saying, a few rounds. You kind of feel somebody out. You kind of, hey man, you ain't got that much power. I'm finna step into you. You know what I'm saying? We finna see what's going on. Like, and I never felt like he did that.
I thought
Like,
Castano won the fight, the first one.
yeah,
I thought he
like
definitely won.
yeah, I felt like felt like the right thing happened because nobody dominated at what they did. It was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like ain't nobody dominated. They just kind of looked at how they regularly look. When somebody dominate a fight, then you can say, all right, especially with two champions coming in like that. There's two champions. You can't take one belt if it'll be, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't look right. Now, if Charlo would have outjabbed him or something, he probably could have got the edge, but he ain't even do that.
Yeah, I just thought he spent so much time on the ropes, and I thought Castaño was just getting nice combinations off, and he got clipped a couple of times, but I felt like Charlo really didn't hit him that often.
Dude must be strong. It must be something about him, though, because I know, but usually, I don't know. You ain't gonna after a few rounds, after after six, man, we gonna get it in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We gonna see what's going on. Like it ain't finna be all that running around and boxing. I'm still gonna box, but man, we finna see.
I thought he started doing that, but it was just too late. It was like the 9th round.
Yeah.
Doing it, you know.
Kind of in the 9th, he kind of tried to do a little something, but it was still like it wasn't like he was pushing him back though. He was just kind of doing enough to keep him off.
Yeah. Yeah. That's going to be an interesting rematch, honestly. I think that's going to be a hell of a fight.
Yeah. Is they going to go right? I wonder if they going to go right back on the rematch.
I thought I read somewhere that they were working on it.
Yeah.
Like that's going to happen soon. What was I was going to ask you too, what was it like sparring with Sean Porter? I heard that he's a married in that with.
He is. He was pretty good. He got good pressure, but I came up like under Kareem Mayfield. So I fought people like him all day. Like, I fought somebody like him all the time. Like I helped Kareem. That's another one of the guys out there. See my man, he'll be mad at me if he heard this and I ain't mentioning. But yeah, Kareem hard hitter Mayfield, man. That's one of my dogs, my day ones in boxing. And I helped him with numerous camps. So somebody with pressure like that, like fighting like Sean Porter, really didn't give me no problems. Like he got little good tactical moves in between his like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't just wide open like people think he is from the outside looking in. But he was kind of too small.
Right. So how did you meet Kareem?
Well, I started training in San Francisco with Coach Ben, and we had the same coach for a long time, Busy Ben, and we just kind of been we've been folks ever since. Like,
is that the same place you met Mike Guy?
Huh?
Is that the same place you met Mike Guy?
No, I actually I can't even remember where I met Mike Guy at, but we've been knowing each other for a while. And like we always called me for work. Hey man, let me get some of that work, man. I got something coming up. So whenever he got something, that's how I kind of stay. I stay in shape. He called me, let me get them rounds. You know what I'm saying? He know I stay up. So but I can't remember how I exactly met Mike Guy.
But you guys been doing some rounds.
Yeah, we get rounds in all the time. He called every time he get a fight, every time I get a fight, hey man, I need some of that. You know what I'm saying?
Is Kareem Mayfield still fighting?
I don't think Kareem fight no more. You put that right bag on him, no, he gonna go get that though. He's staying shape. Kareem stay in shape. I'll be laughing. You put that right paper on him, he gonna go get that.
Yeah.
Because he got an awkward style, man. He'll fight. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to deal. Everybody can't deal with that.
Right. Yeah.
He came in as the underdog a lot, kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely saw him on TV a bunch of times.
Yeah. Kareem stole a few dreams from some people. You know what I'm saying? They was on their way up, then ran into him.
Well, shit, bro. January 22nd.
Yeah.
Hugo Centeno. Where can people watch that? Is that gonna be on BBC?
And I'm hoping they got us on the Showtime card. Hopefully mine break TV because man, I must see it. I must see TV, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Clean tactical boxing, man. You ain't gonna see it like this nowhere else.
Facts, bro. Well, anybody you want to shout out? Anything you want to say to whoever the fuck?
Man, praise God, man. I just want to shout out everybody still shooting for me, man. Still knocking, still pushing for heavy metal, man, because they know it's been a long one for me.
Yeah, bro. Well, it's been a fucking pleasure meeting you, Aaron. And I wish you nothing but luck in your fight next month. And if you got the time in camp, I'd love to talk to you fight week.
Yeah, hell yeah. Holla at me, man. I ain't too busy and I ain't nothing, don't nothing really bother me or throw me off so we can rap anytime, man.
I can see that, bro. Same with your demeanor as with your style. You're very, very relaxed.
Yeah.
All right, Aaron. It was a fucking
Yep,
pleasure, homie.
brother.
Peace, my
Yep.
guy.
Yep, I holla.
Be safe.